I gotta hit that string, you better watch it. With a cat that attack with a full clip. I got the whip, got the...
Unfortunately, I'm lonely for Valentine's Day. However, that doesn't mean I'm a Grinch. I love the holiday just as much as anyone else with a desolate heart like my own would. That's why for this video, I'm going to be expressing my manhood by naming my top 5 lovely fictional babes. Posey Tyler from Mission Hill. This show is so underrated, it's a crying shame. One day I'll review it, but right now I'm just gonna swoon over this hippie from the early 2000s. She's roommates with the main characters Andy and Jim. She's a mediator when she's not taking the time to smell the flowers or have out-of-life experiences. Nothing romantic happens between these characters, however I can't help but think had the show gone longer that something would have happened.
What the hay will take my Miata?
Pearl from Steven Universe. There are a ton of people who dislike Pearl because of her selfish acts and hypocritic views, but you know, she's someone who cares a lot. She doesn't mean to be that way. But considering she was involved in a war that killed a vast majority of her fucking friends and her gym crush, you know, it really changes people. One of the reasons why I love the show in general is the character development. And if you take all Pearl-based episodes and binge watch them, it'll be an entirely different show of its own, and that's for any of the characters. However, if you do it to Pearl, I think near the end you'd have more of a love, or rather understanding of the things she's done. Pearl is a cute, distraught character who cares too much about things that mean a lot to her. Also, I don't know what it is about girls with long noses that I really, really love. A couple of the choices in this list will have long noses. However, I will say that does not make me biased against any of my choices. Except maybe my next choice.
I hope you can forgive me. You're the one good thing that came out of this mess.
Please let this be a normal field trip with a friend? No way!
Cruising on down Main Street, you're relaxed and feeling good. Next thing that you know, you see it.
Miss Frizzle. There's not a lot I could say about this, considering how embarrassed I am about it. I honestly have no clue where my love for her came from. Maybe her fashion sense? The way she treats her class, maybe? My affection for long-nosed momish characters is honestly the best bet. There's no character development whatsoever, considering she remains the same throughout the series. All I know is that she could take a ride on my magic school bus whenever she wants.
Nice legs, Daisy Dukes, makes a man go. That's the way they all come through like.
Zarya and Diva. I couldn't come up with just one and didn't want to waste a spot on characters from the same franchise, so both of them takes number 2 place. Overwatch has quickly become one of my favorite multiplayer games in recent history, with its vast majority of Pixar-like characters that are very unique in their own way. Some would say Tracer or Symmetra are their Overwatch crushes, but I give it all to Zarya and Diva. Russian heavy-lifting, thigh-blasting Zarya had to grow on me, as I'm going to grow inside her. An old enough teenage prima donna YouTubing Twitch streamer Diva was my first Overwatch love, with 17 plus hours played with her altogether. She has a mech given to her by the Korean army, and Zarya is the same except with a giant gun given her by the Russian army. Going over these characters' separate abilities is a video for a different day, but these two cuties are definitely worth putting on this list.
Suiting up!
Considering it's Black History Month, and indeed most of you should know that I am of black descent, I figured my first choice should be to a black woman, or mixed, whatever.
I met by chance a girl in bell-bottom pants, and she likes to say,
Groovy.
she came out of the blue, and in an instant I knew everything would be groovy.
Crystal from Scooby-Doo and the Alien Invaders. Sure, you could say Velma or Daphne, Or you could go Crystal. Although this is a very, very specific character, she doesn't nearly have as much qualities as, the other characters on this list. She just so happens to be the baddest Scooby-Doo female that's not a part of the Hex Girls. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, bring them into it as well. Hex Girls and Crystal. Crystal is a closeted alien who's also a love interest in one of my favorite Scooby-Doo movies. And the Hex Girls are a reoccurring gothic band that appear in many Scooby-Doo movies. This list isn't in any particular order, however, if I had to choose from pure hotness, then Crystal definitely has my vote. She's a hippie photographer, which aside from the long nose thing is another one of my favorite qualities of a female. I am aware she turns out to be a less hot alien in the end. But I'd still hit it. She can beam me up anytime.